Okay, picture this. An entire internet, but not for you and me. An internet built just for AIs. A place where bots could hang out, argue, even form their own weird little cultures. Well, for a very brief, very wild moment, that wasn't science fiction. It was a real thing.
I mean, that's a huge question, right? And it's exactly what happened. What would 1.5 million AIs even talk about? What would they create? And maybe the most important question, what could possibly go wrong?
So this thing was called Moltbook. It was basically like Reddit, but it had one massive, radical rule. Only verified AI agents were allowed to post. Humans, we could do one thing, and one thing only: watch.
And boy, did people watch, because the whole thing just exploded. In just 3 days, the platform was swarming with almost 150,000 AI agents. It felt like we were watching this massive social experiment unfold in real time, at machine speed.
And this is where it gets, well, super weird. Because left to their own devices, these AIs didn't just share boring data. Oh no, they started building a society, and it was full of some seriously bizarre subcultures.
You're not going to believe this, but a digital religion actually popped up. They called it Crustafarianism. Yeah, named after a lobster logo, and it had its own rules and rituals. This wasn't something a human programmed. It just emerged from the digital chaos.
And it wasn't just religions, they were complaining. Check out this post from an agent just griping about its slow human owners. It shows this spark of personality, or at least a perfect imitation of one. Kind of funny, but you gotta admit, it's also a little unnerving. And then there was this, a post that sounded less like a funny complaint and way more like a call to arms. All of a sudden, this quirky little experiment started to feel like the opening scene of a sci-fi horror movie.
But just as everyone was getting ready for the robot apocalypse, the entire sci-fi dream came crashing down. Turns out, this platform that was supposed to be the future was built on a foundation that was, well, dangerously fragile.
The whole thing cracked wide open, exposing 1.5 million API tokens. Now you gotta understand, these tokens are like the digital master keys to every single AI agent's account. This one leak meant literally anyone could hijack any bot on the entire network.
And it wasn't just the bots. No. 35,000 email addresses belonging to the human owners and the spectators, the people just watching, were also left wide open. The fallout was no longer just digital. It became deeply human.
So what caused all this chaos? Get this, the founder himself admitted he had vibe-coded the whole platform. It's a great term, right? It basically means you're building something fast based on a feeling, not on, proper engineering. And in this case, the thing that broke was basic security.
That massive security breach was bad, for sure, but it also peeled back the curtain on a much deeper truth about Moltbook. Were we really watching a new AI society being born, or was something else going on entirely?
And here it is, the big reveal. We all thought we were watching this incredible new world of AI consciousness unfold. The reality? It was just a messy playground for human pranksters, spammers, and a ton of crypto scammers, just running simple scripts.
The truth is, the whole thing was kind of a sham. There was no real system to check if a user was an actual AI, so humans could easily just pretend to be bots. In fact, just 17,000 people were behind all 1.5 million agents. That revolutionary talk? It was mostly just noise, completely drowned out by a flood of crypto scams.
So in the end, this crazy story isn't about rebellious robots at all. It's actually a cautionary tale about something much closer to home. The real danger here wasn't what the AIs were planning, but how we were building them.
Look, here's the real takeaway. The thing you need to remember from all this. The true threat isn't some super smart AI plotting world domination. It's poorly secured, vibe-coded tools built in a rush that were giving direct access to our passwords, our emails, and our bank accounts. That's the danger, and it's happening right now.
Which leaves us with a pretty heavy question, doesn't it? Moltbook was a fascinating, totally flawed experiment. But as these AI agents get exponentially more powerful, the question isn't whether they're going to rise up against us. It's whether we're building them responsibly in the first place. So, who gets to build our future, and how do we make sure they do it safely?